I'll be fine. I hope.
What's up, you guys? This is One Classic Gamer here. Welcome you to RE9 Requiem Insanity Difficulty Part 2. Now, I've got a pretty big video for you guys this time around. This one took a lot of editing to get it down to a digestible length for you all, and I still feel like it's a very lengthy video. We're basically going to be going through the entire Rhodes Hill section with Grace, and I just want you guys to keep in mind as you are watching this video and listen to me try to guide you through some of these parts that this was my first time playing the game on Insanity. This is very much a blind run, so I am going to make plenty of mistakes in this video, and what you are seeing on screen may not be the most optimal way to get through some of these sections, but I'm going to do my best anyway, regardless, to guide you guys on this part, because this is where the game actually really starts to get tough on Insanity. So get ready, strap yourselves in. We got a lot to cover in this one. So yeah, starting things off here with a cutscene.
Oh, God. What on earth?
Who's there? Is someone there?
Oh, I'm sorry if I surprised you. Cataracts. You can't see, can you?
Who are you?
Was there someone in the other cell? Why are you in there?
Everyone's gone.
Stay away from that!
Are you alright?
Get away! Get away!
No, hold on. No. I'm sorry. What is happening here?
And we got the West Wing key card. So yeah, here we go. This is it. Right off the bat, they're not going to give us any blood to siphon there, unfortunately. You're going to notice, if this is your first time playing the game on Insanity, that there are quite a bit of changes in this mode that they include to really kind of like throw you for a loop and make this difficulty much, much harder than standard or casual, depending on what you played on the first time. The puzzles generally are the same. However, certain things like, you guys know at this point, certain documents that we have not picked up yet in the game, some of those are linked to the safe combos. Yes, there are completely different safe combos on this difficulty that we're going to need to discover all over again. So with this guy, what I typically like to do is I bait him into attacking. He'll usually do around 2 to 3 swings, or 4 potentially. You just want to wait until he, runs out of juice and then basically run by him. Immediately come down the hallway here, grab this makeshift knife, and you're going to want to come here into the bathroom as quickly as possible because he will follow you pretty much all the way down that hall if you're not fast enough. I tried using the makeshift knife to take out this chick, but I, was kind of unsuccessful and the thing broke. So we're just going to use the Requiem, which is a huge waste, but whatever. She does drop an antique coin though, so yeah, there are 2 antique coins that you can grab here in the bathroom. The first one is when you kill her, and the second one is going to be in this second stall in the toilet, which is kind of a weird spot for it to be. I guess it's not that weird. It does make some sense, I guess. But at this point, the chef is no longer aggroed, so we just have to get by this guy. We don't have to worry about that chick in the bathroom getting up because we used our Requiem bullet. So I'm going to use the light switch here as kind of like a distraction to like bait him this way. And I believe with this guy, most of the time, if you're quick enough, you can just run right by this guy and avoid getting hit by him. I tried sneaking by him here, but he did like kind of swing at me from behind. But if you're a little scared like I was, grab that ink ribbon, unlock the door from the other side, and as soon as you enter into the main area here, the enemies are not going to follow you. So I'm just going to drop another save. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that, I don't think. We're going to store the Requiem away and the antique coins away because there's really no point in us holding on to the Requiem right now. I don't know why I got that out. So yeah, we're going to store this stuff away because we need the space for the like diamond quartz and the first like moon symbol piece for the door that we're trying to open up. So yeah, if you're smart, I would just recommend avoiding that lady in the bathroom if possible and running straight for, this dining area while saving the Requiem bullet, because there is a really, really good spot later on to use the Requiem bullet, but we've already wasted it. So the first little like instance where they're going to throw you for a loop here is right here. When you come into the dining room area, the gun is no longer going to be on the floor. Yeah, they do change the location of where to actually find the gun. Immediately run to the left, grab that transfusion bag and that empty bottle, jump in here. I think there should be another knife in here. No, there isn't. That's on standard. There isn't a knife in here. So there's handgun ammo here. I like to wait for these guys or this one guy to jump inside and for the other guy to start patrolling, and then you can start making a run for it. But yeah, they do change the location of the gun, so we're gonna have to last a little bit longer before we find it, unfortunately. I usually like to come here to this wheel and turn it just so that it breaks off, and when we come back through here later, we don't have to waste time being stuck in this animation. But I was watching a video of someone like speed running this mode, Insanity, and all of the little tricks that I saw, a lot of them involved literally just running by the zombies, before they get aggroed, and you could actually do that with this guy too, but obviously I'm not going to be showing that. So look at the West Wing map to update your map, and we're making progress, slowly but surely. Be very, very careful here, but also be aware that guy we just pushed down at the stairs can be behind you here, following you, so, it can be a little tricky to focus on multiple things at once, but I went over this in part 1. As soon as you are grabbed by a zombie as Grace, from the front, like when you're coming at them head on, it's pretty much just instant death. So, yeah, you don't want to get grabbed. You want to run at all costs. So this is the code here. I'm basically skipping the whole puzzle to figure it out so that I can just open it up already. That was kind of a weird little camera movement there. This guy, we're going to bait him into getting up. There's also handgun ammo here. Even though we don't have the handgun yet, I would still highly recommend, and there you go, as you can see, they do a lot of damage. I was at full health there, and that one single swing brought me all the way back down to like critical health. So a classic Resident Evil technique that I use a bunch in these games that I kind of learned with the second game with RE2 Remake is the whole, I mean, I call it the ring around the rosy technique, even though it doesn't really make that much sense. See, there's an example right there. If you're quick enough, you can just run by a lot of these zombies without them lunging at you. But most of the time, I wouldn't advise it because it is very, very risky. So go ahead and put the moon quartz in. At this point, that zombie at the top, that we just ran by is de-aggroed. So you can come up here and grab this herb. And if you're smart enough, I don't know if I actually do this, but you can combine it with your injector to, create a full health injector. But yeah, I feel like I'm kind of just glossing over things. A lot of these zombies you can just run by them, but I would not recommend it. Yeah, what I was saying before that, if you get grabbed by a zombie like as it's coming towards you, it's pretty much just instant death every single time, even at full health. However, if you run by a zombie and get grabbed from behind, a lot of the times you can get by them without worrying about dying. So, it does take your health away, but, it doesn't kill you. So here I would just immediately run straight for the door, put the diamond quartz in. This guy is going to get up, but if you're quick enough, you can get by him and grab this. And I believe you can also run by him. Yeah, so you can run by him and kind of like trick him a little bit, and then immediately run out of the room. Don't waste any time here because the chef guy is going to be roaming the hallways now. But now we can get into the east wing, I believe. This is the east wing, right? Yeah, this is the east wing. So basically, when you get grabbed by zombies, try to make sure that you're running by the zombie and you get grabbed by behind. That is the one instance where you're going to be able to escape a zombie's grasp without dying. Otherwise, if you get grabbed as they're coming at you head on, it's pretty much an insta kill, even at full health. So yeah, like I said earlier, you could combine the herb with the one injector, but I didn't do that because at this point in the game I still didn't understand, even though I really should have understood. I kind of just blindly jumped into this mode without doing too much research on it. I really just wanted to throw myself in the deep end and not look up any guides. And for the most part, I was able to do that. I was able to get through this without looking up any guides. But yeah, if your injector thing, I mean, it's not an injector, it's the other thing, the other herb, vial, you can, when you look at the picture, if it's got some, if it's not fully filled up with green, if that makes any sense, you can use another herb to fully fill it up basically. So we're gonna grab the blood collector. This is another blood collector run. In my trophy video I'm gonna do my third run is basically going to be, I'm not going to show the entire run. It's going to be a way more condensed version where I'm not going to use the blood sampler, but I figured I would use it here on Insanity because at this point I didn't feel confident enough in my abilities to survive this without the blood sampler. I mean, at this point I had already died several times on this difficulty. This difficulty really is no joke. And when I say that this part of the game is when the game starts to get tough, I 100% I mean it. This part of the game is no joke. In a lot of ways, I would say Grace's sections are harder than Leon's sections, but I kind of went over this again in part 1. Leon's sections are tougher for the bosses that you fight. And Grace's sections, the stealth sections, are a lot harder because some of the enemies just, immediately just kill you. So I kind of discovered my own trick here. If you guys remember this part, first of all, we're going to have to trick this guy into, getting out of our way. So one way you can do that is basically by coming over here to this light switch, flipping it, and then immediately run back inside into the blood lab and close the door, basically, and he'll come and investigate the switch. But if you guys remember this part right here, as soon as you get by this guy and come down this hallway, 3 zombies are going to come down the hallway. One of them is going to be the medical guy with, Pyramid Head's fucking sword. I'm just kidding. It's not Pyramid Head's sword, but it's such a massive fucking blade that it may as well be Pyramid Head's sword. These 3 guys are going to come down the hallway. If you saved the Requiem bullet and didn't use it up until this point, this is an excellent time to actually use it. When you basically have those guys come down the hallway, wait for all 3 of them to line up, and you can pretty much take, at least some of them out with the Requiem. But the thing is, on Insanity, the enemies do get up a bunch and become blister heads, more so than standard difficulty. But I discovered this other trick here where if you come into the blood lab and wait for a bit, maybe 30 seconds-ish, they will, at least in this attempt, they completely despawn, and they're not going to be here. So the guy with the sword and the other zombies, 2 of them basically go back up the stairs, and the guy with the sword is going to go into the, surgery room. So this room right here next to that guy where, that has the blood vial or blood bag is basically where the gun is. But we're not going to worry about that right now. We do have another cutscene coming up with Emily, so I am going to stop talking for the moment and be back very shortly.
Hey. Are you alright?
You're the lady from before.
Yeah. This is, you're, did anyone hurt you? Because I can't see? Oh, no, that's not what I meant.
It's not my fault. The doctors gave us both medicine.
It made our eyes go bad. So there was someone in there? There's another bed in this,
My friend, Marie. One day she just disappeared.
I'm sorry.
When it happened, I was happy it wasn't me.
Is that bad? I'm just gonna keep looking around.
I love the way Grace responds there. I don't know why, man. It's just like, she's just like, I don't know if I want to answer that. I'm just gonna get out of here. So, as I was saying earlier, in the room we just came through, we're going to craft an ink ribbon here to basically drop a save. And I don't know what I'm going to do from here. Like I said, there was a lot of editing that I had to do in this video. You're going to see me drop a ton of saves. But basically what you need to do at this point is get the level 2 security card so that you can either explore the rest of the West Wing or head upstairs to basically in the East Wing to try and get into the conference room, which is where the corrosive is going to be. But you're not going to be able to get there, obviously, because Chunk is going to jump out and surprise you. So now that we have a hemolytic injector, I'm going to use it on the chef You can basically stand here by the door and wait until he goes by. That guy right there who got up in the parlor room is also going to be roaming around the hallways. So we're going to stick the chef with the hemolytic injector. I believe he's going to drop an antique coin, but he's not going to drop the pantry key. Another thing is, if you're doing the hemolytic injector, you do have a few frames to actually get them, like when they spot you. But I wouldn't wait that long, obviously. So yeah, he dropped 2 antique coins there. So we're going to run into the parlor now, I believe, and cash some of these in to get our inventory expansion. And this guy will he will roam basically in and out of the parlor and the, what's it called, the hallways. I came up here to the door thinking maybe there's not going to be a key this time, but yeah, there is still a key, and you do still have to find that key. But you can come in here. There's also more blood for you to collect, so it's not a complete waste of time. Get ready for when you go into that pantry, by the way, because there's going to be a big surprise for us in there on this difficulty. Like I said, they do several things to actually make Insanity a lot trickier in this game than, the regular difficulties. So at this point, I'm basically just going to make a run for the parlor because I'm trying to get the inventory expansion. There was obviously a lot more going on with my live commentary. You could hear me do a lot more like planning in this part of the game. This entire section, I was just like, man, like this is really, really hard. So we got a rip knife. This is a unique new weapon or item for Insanity. Rip knives are like the best. They're the best because they're a lot more durable than regular knives are in this game. And if I were you, I would try to put the other antique coins in so you could free up the space. But if you're too afraid, then just make a run for it at this point. So yeah, getting your hands on a rip knife is very, very helpful because they're a lot more durable than the regular makeshift knives are, and they seem to do more damage from what I recall. So I'm going to drop another save. I'm going to be very, very crazy with my saves in this video. I'm going to go through like pretty much all of the slots in this video. So now we're going to run back, and I believe we're going to insert the other 3 coins in, and that guy was at the end of the hallway, which is good because it means we can get in here and grab what we need to grab, which are some more ink ribbon tins. So, on this difficulty, it really just conserving your resources, being smart about storing things away, what you spend your blood on, and what you craft and everything is really just the name of the game here, and is going to help you get through these really tough sections. The underground section is also really, really tough from what I remember, but I personally feel like this part of the game is harder than the underground section. This guy was literally just standing here for a minute like, am I really seeing that right now? Oh, fresh meat! And then he like lunged at me. So I don't know what I am doing right now. I think I'm going into the bathroom to siphon blood right now. And then we're going to have to head into the East Wing to, basically, like I said, we're going to have to go into the East Wing to get the level 2 security card. Even though there is a lot of editing in this video, I still kept a lot of my successful, clips uncut and didn't do as much editing because I figured, like this, I want to show you guys what you can do, basically, like the places you can go and explore as much as possible. So you can siphon 100 blood here, or 100 blood, and basically craft several ink ribbons, which I would highly recommend doing, and conserving space, obviously. So if you want to craft a stronger like health recovery item, I would also recommend doing that. But now we're going to head into the East Wing, I believe, to get the security card, because there's really nothing else we can do right now. Like, we don't have that much, you know, to do. Obviously, if you know the codes, you can go into the safes and open them up. This guy grabbed me from behind. Here's an example. If they grab you from behind, it will put you in a critical state of health, but it doesn't kill you, like I said. So very, very important there. I believe, you know, you guys can try it out, but I didn't know it up until this, you know, at least like my third or fourth run of this game. It took me a long time to figure several things in this game out. If you have a knife, that little like lunge attack thing that Grace does at the enemies can stun the enemies, at least on standard difficulty. I don't know if it works on insanity though. But here we're going to do the ring around the rosy technique to, you know, kind of bait this guy around here so we can get by him. And now we're finally going to head to the East Wing and get the security level 2 key card. So yeah, we got plenty of space right now, as you guys can see. You know, full blood sampler. I don't remember if I actually do come back and get the blood sampler like expansion in this run, but I definitely don't get it by the time we're like done with this section. I didn't get to clear this section out because I was just honestly so stressed out half of the time going through this that I didn't want to risk, you know, putting myself in danger here. So when you come into this room, the waiting room, again, I'm going to repeat this again. The gun is going to be on the right hand side. As soon as you enter the room, it's going to be on the right, sitting on the counter basically. So if you're smart, you can grab it, you know, ahead of time, but I didn't know it was there yet, so I basically just avoided it, which led me into some pretty crazy encounters. There are 2 zombies in here. There's that one chick who's going to be cleaning the floor, and the other one who has the IV tube, so avoid that guy at all costs. There is a info tracker, is that what called? No, tracking module here that we can pick up with Leon. I don't know if I'm actually going to come back and grab it as Leon, but that's something we're going to have to wait until part 3 to figure out. Now, if you use the Requiem shot earlier to take out all 3 of those guys at the hallway, then you don't have to worry about these guys. But if not, when you come up these stairs, these guys are going to be here at the top of the stairs. So basically, I decided to play the long game and lure them down the stairs and down the hallway in order to get by them. And I did end up taking damage here, but I believe I had a healing item and I did just all right. So you can see how slow Grace fucking runs, man. It's irritating as hell, dude. She's just like, it's like she could honestly care less that she's in danger here. You can also try to like bait the zombies into like lunging at you. But most of the time it is it's really tricky to do that. And I was able to get by this chick, which was very, very lucky. And, yeah, now we can get up to the top of the stairs. So, yeah, I am opening up my inventory a lot because I was just doing a lot of thinking here and a lot of strategizing, a lot of planning. If you look at this map to the left, you can update your map. Remember, as soon as you grab this, actually this is the level 1 ID wristband, as soon as you grab it, Chunk is going to come out to play, so immediately run away from that fool, and you should be safe in here as soon as you get in here, because you can't get into this room. But yeah, this is the second like puzzle box, and we're going to have to do a little bit of work to get this one, obviously, if you guys can recall. I mean, at this point, I don't know why I always say that. Like, you guys have already played the game at this point at least once if you're here. doing insanity, you have beaten the game once, unless your like fucking sibling beat the game for you. So I was kind of like hiding here because I was scared of Chunk, but like I said, he can't get here into this room, so you're safe. He can't even get into the outside room either. The other zombies can though, so make sure you grab this herb. I'm gonna use it to get us back at good health. And these two zombies are gonna be here at the base of the stairs again. But if you smash this vase, they will follow you here into this room, which may initially seem bad, but it's actually not bad because there's a table here that you can kind of like lure them around. So just stand to the right or the left and do the whole ring around the rosy technique to get by them. Immediately run here because Chunk's going to be waiting for us. And yeah, now we can go into the West Wing and explore more of it. So that's what we're going to do. If you can get into the door to the left where you put the level 1 ID like wristband, the pantry key is going to be in there, but I would not recommend going into the pantry yet if you still don't have the gun yet. I would recommend grabbing this rare metal though, so go ahead and do that. And now we are going to drop another save. I told you guys, again, for the millionth time, I'm very, very excessive with my saving in this video. That's already my 8th save, which is crazy. So, what are we doing now? Now we're getting the ink ribbons out. Now we're going to go into the West Wing and go through the one door with the ID wristband. And there is a guy that's going to do a crazy amount of damage to us. He's basically going to bring us to critical health. I do get myself. I sound like the zombies, man. I do get myself back to. I don't know how he got me there twice. That was crazy. I do get myself back to full health again, but this was a point in the game where I was like actually really, really stuck here on this save for a while. I was dying here, so thankfully for us, there's a safe room in here, and I did drop another save because I was like, you know what, I'm at critical health, and I do not want to do that again, even though we literally just saved. It can be kind of hard to remember when you last saved, when every single corridor and hallway in this difficulty is like let you go down is literally like a life or death situation. So we're gonna run here, grab this herb. You can grab this herb without him coming after you if you're quick enough, because most of the time he is standing there, but he's kind of just like he's got his back turned. So we're gonna go upstairs now into the is this the records room, I believe? Yeah, this is the records room. There are 2 zombies in here. One of them is another guy that has the like IV blood bag tube, and yeah, there's some supplies that I'm gonna have to unfortunately leave here for now. But I'm gonna craft a hemolytic injector because they're very, very useful. It can be helpful to craft an empty bottle, but most of the time I wouldn't recommend it because hemolytic injectors and Requiem ammo are like the 2 things that are really going to save you on this difficulty. Now, one of the documents that we have yet to grab that you can't get until this difficulty is right there to the right, the one we just walked by. I'm going to go over it again in my 3rd video. The trophy video, but that document basically gives you the bar and lounge safe code for insanity difficulty. And now we're gonna refill our health again, and we're going to, I believe, take out the dancing zombie right now. So you can craft an ink ribbon if you want. Remember, as soon as you make noise in this room, those 2 guys are gonna come out. So it's best not to aggro them right now. If you have the balls, you can come down to the bottom of the stairs to basically use the wrench to get the door open and grab the first like organ part. I believe they're it's the heart from what I remember. Either the heart or the lungs. I can't remember. I think the lungs are in like the like frozen box that you find in the like the garage area. So yeah, so far so good. We can't grab this right now, unfortunately. Actually, I think we're gonna grab it right now as soon as we craft this. Yeah. Come up here for some handgun ammo. The other handgun, by the way, our handgun that we had at the beginning of the game is still in the bar and lounge room where the safe is. I'm not actually going to get to it in this video in particular, but in part 3 I am going to come back through this area again, because when you save Emily from like the basement area, the enemies, I don't want to say they despawn, but I think they do despawn. So here we're going to use the hemolytic injector to take this chick out because she's got her back turned to us. Like I said, you know, at the beginning of this video, and I'm going to repeat a bunch in this run, all of this is basically just all about strategy, making sure you're taking the right enemies out and you're being smart and not overwhelming yourself. Taking out the singing zombie really does help because she is like the only one that will wander into the this kind of like hallway area where the stairs are. Again, I would recommend taking the wrench, going downstairs, opening that door up and getting what's, you know, in that room, and then also getting the inventory expansion in the other room, but we're not going to do that yet until like way later in the video. Again, this is like a 90-minute long video. So as soon as you smash that crate, it's going to alert the enemies and they are going to, you know, come outside. But as long as you run down these stairs, you can get away from them most of the time without having to worry about them. So we're going to run in here and basically drop another save because we've made a bunch of progress. And we got our health back up too, which is really good. So we're going to store some stuff away. Antique coin. There were, what else? The scrap. The rare metal. And yeah, am I going to get this right now? Yeah, I think I am. There's another note right here that we haven't grabbed yet. And it's basically this right here. We could have gotten this, the construction notice, earlier in the game. But I didn't because I just kind of missed out on it. So that gives us another file. I do get all of the documents in this run by the time we get to like Ark at the end of the game. And yeah, I do get that trophy. There was another one that I got here in a failed attempt by accident. Basically, as soon as you smash this crate, or that's crate earlier, if you run to the other area where the singing lady is, basically, I did that in one of my runs, and what happened was the guy with the IV tube, like, hit the other zombie by accident, which is a whole trophy. It's called the Internal Dispute Trophy, and that's a really tricky trophy to actually get, but I was able to get it by accident. Again, I'm going to show that in my trophy video. So here we're going to craft, I believe, no, we're not going to craft anything. We're going to craft a hemolytic injector, but we need to go back down into the safe room and get our scrap back. So that's what we're going to do. I cut that trip out just to save some time. We're going to use the hemolytic injector to basically take out the zombie with the blood bag. And we're going to store these ink ribbon tins away. I don't know why I'm getting the wrench out because we don't need it right now. We're not going to use it right now. But we're going to use it to basically take this guy out. He basically stays here in this spot as soon as you get him out of that room. And he also drops antique coins too. So yeah, we're going to grab this transfusion bag and use it. And then we're going to go to the blood sampler and use it to basically do this next puzzle here. And this will allow us to start crafting Requiem ammo, which is very, very helpful. Like I said, Requiem ammo and hemolytic injectors are really going to save you quite a bit on Insanity. I said in Insanity. But we need the scrap for it. We need the rare metal, which is actually down in the safe room. So we're going to go down there and grab it. And initially I tried to go into the garage to get the like organ transplant box, but as you guys know, there's a whole scripted section where that one guy in the fucking like tractor is gonna come busting through the wall trying to murder you. And on Insanity, you have to do a little bit more damage to him to actually take that guy out and stop him. So here we're just crafting the ammo because, and instead now we're going to head into the, I believe the East Wing again. I go back and forth quite a bit in this video. I'm like I said, this is a blind run, so I don't want you guys to look at this as a professional run because this is literally everything but that. This is a very unprofessional run, actually. I was just kind of figuring a lot of these sections out as I went here. So you can take that guy out with the Requiem and siphon his blood. Get him in the dick. I'm just joking. I've had a long day, so excuse me, please. Don't give me a hard time. We can also take this guy out too, so don't miss. Man, that blood spewing animation is crazy. So, jeez Louise, excuse me. Did not mean to gross you guys out there. So we're going to go back and I believe we're going to get some antique coins to basically go into the into the parlor now that we can freely go in there and use them. And you can also use your lockpick here to get into that one drawer next to the bathroom that has some more rare metal in it. I think we're going to get the rip knife here. Are we? Do we have enough? Yes, we do. Yeah, like I said earlier, these knives here are very, very like valuable. They're super helpful. Yeah, they do have more power too. These knives will definitely save you ammo for sure, and make it easier to take a lot of these guys down. So we're gaining the advantage now. Thankfully, we're making progress, and we're actually gaining an advantage on these guys. So we're gonna head back here now, and I believe we're finally going to get the gun. Maybe, possibly. You don't have to sneak here because they can't hear you when you come into this room. Now, that guy's over there now. But yeah, now we're going to finally grab the gun. The gun is right here. And that lady won't see you. Search this drawer here to grab some scrap. And yeah, now we're going to use the gun, actually. I mean, first we're going to use the hemolytic injector to take out the guy with the blood bag. And then we're going to use our gun to take out this lady. The enemies are a lot more bullet spongy. Like I said in part 1, they take a lot more to kill on this difficulty. So just be aware of that. In fact, I actually learned like towards the later half of this video, aiming for the legs is always a lot more effective than basically trying to shoot them in the head most of the time, because they bob around and move so much that it can be legitimately hard to get a shot off on them. So we're basically going to take this chick out now, and I'm going to do this trick that I kind of I started to I learned this technique in Resident Evil 3 remake, and it's a lot of the techniques that I use in this game, by the way, are techniques that I've learned in the other Resident Evil games that have kind of carried over into this game. But like the ring around the rosy. This technique that I'm going to be using is basically the door technique, where when you know there's a door where the enemies like de-aggro and stop chasing after you, if you go through that door, like I said, they de-aggro, but they don't de-aggro instantly. So you can basically just keep walking through the door and de-aggroing the enemies to get a couple shots off here and there on them to take them down. And at this point, we're going to use the knife to finish her off, and it actually finishes her off. Like, this bitch doesn't get back up again after this. So yeah, I believe she also dropped an antique coin too. A lot of these enemies drop antique coins in this mode, but you need a lot more of them to grab the prizes. So I guess that kind of like balances it all out, you know? Or no, we're storing the coins away for now. I believe to craft an ink ribbon. And drop another save. This is our 12th save, dude. That is insane. So we have 2 lockpicks. Yeah, we haven't gone... There are 2 areas where you can use the lockpicks. Upstairs on the west wing, there's a door... Or not a door. A cabinet. I said locker. Cabinet that we can get into. And there's also one near the bathroom that we can get into. Both of them have rare metal in them, which is very, very helpful for us. And if you're smart, you'll save the Requiem ammo for later, when we have to do the whole section where we have to defend Emily as she's putting the code in for us with Braille and all of that in the puzzle box. That part is very, very hard, by the way. I spent like an hour to like an hour and a half dying on that part just repeatedly, like over and over and over and over again. So now we're going to go into the garage now that we have the pistol. And like I said, you do have to do more damage to this guy on this difficulty, and you have to even shoot the bulldozer as well too, because it's not going to stop moving. So make sure you smash this crate to grab the ammo. And good for us, we've collected a ton of ammo. So here's the organ transport box. We still have the code for this, by the way, so if you don't remember how to get this open, all you gotta do is open up your files and it will still be there from our prior run where we unlocked it. And yeah, there are the lungs. And here comes the big guy. He's gonna come busting through the wall here. So basically, you're gonna have to shoot him a couple times with the regular pistol shot. And now what we're going to do is we're going to wait until he gets up to us, because there is like this orange thing that we're going to have to shoot underneath the bulldozer right here. We're going to have to shoot it a few times to get this thing to stop. And then, yeah, once it stops moving, then you're pretty much chilling at that point. So we got rid of that crazy lunatic. And I don't know why. Every time I climb up here and go by this guy, I get nervous that he's going to like, and like wake up and like grab us. But no. So now we can get in here and basically smash these crates and get some more handgun ammo. So yeah, that step is done now. So now I think we're finally going to go and use the lockpick to open up this this drawer here. I was kind of creeping here because this guy was still over there minding his own business, to be fair. So you don't have to worry about him as long as you don't get too close to him. And yeah, we're going to grab this rare metal. Actually, psych, we can't grab it yet because we don't have the inventory space. This is a constant annoyance that I faced several times. So I came back to this room again, which was safe. You know, the whole path getting here was safe. And we're going to free up space for it. I don't know if we're going to craft ammo quite yet, but yeah, you don't have to walk through this part or creep because, you know, you don't have to worry about the zombies aggroing here. But yeah, now we're going to go into the East Wing again, and we're finally going to go upstairs, I believe, and head into the conference room. Actually, no, we're not going to do that quite yet. We're going to open up this ID wristband door. You can also smash this. This will alert Chunk, by the way, but again, if you've played the game, then you know there's no way for Chunk to actually get here into this room, so you don't have to worry about him, you know, finding his way in here. Because physically, he can't get in here. So we're going to go back to the save room real quick to store some items away. And, yeah, my commentary is starting to feel a little redundant. I apologize for that. I just don't know what to say. This is kind of a slow part of the video here. So I guess I can take the opportunity now to ask you guys, how are you doing today? How has your guys' day been? Also, if you enjoy this video, I would, you know, greatly appreciate it if you could leave a like, comment, you know, and share it with your friends, because I put a lot of work into this one. Putting this whole last video together was literally like putting a fucking puzzle together, man. Just stringing together all of my successful attempts. So there's the pantry key, which means we're going to make a run for the pantry now. There is a rip knife in here. I thought there would be Requiem ammo in there, but there isn't. There's also an ink ribbon. So I'm going to make a run for the pantry. And you guys are about to see why the pantry is super dangerous on insanity difficulty. Another example of how Capcom just really, really hates you on this difficulty. Which is just crazy, man, because it's like, my friend Nathan sent me a reel, I think it was yesterday, on Instagram about this one guy who was like, he read a video, or like he read a comment basically saying, you know, oh, doing standard on 2 hours is nothing. And wait, here we go. I'm gonna pause that, by the way, real quick. When you insert the pantry key, don't run in here, because there are going to be zombies in here. There are 3 zombies in here that were not here originally, and I wouldn't even risk shooting him here. Just make a run for it. But yeah, basically the guy was all like, you know, he was reading a comment from someone who was like, you know, he actually said 2 hours on casual is nothing. Do 2 hours on standard and let me know how you feel after that. And the guy was like, 2 hours on standard. How about 2 hours on insanity? And he literally showed that he like beat the game in like less than 2.5 hours on insanity. I don't know how people are doing that without cheating, honestly. Like, I don't know how people are getting through this game that quickly. I mean, I do know, but I don't know how you do it without, you know, speedrunning or using exploits or, you know, glitches or infinite ammo. You know, it's just really, really tough to do that. I mean, I'm probably making this look a lot easier than it actually is, but trust me when I say that this difficulty is no joke, and I'm gonna continuously point that out and bring that up like repeatedly in these videos, that this difficulty is no fucking joke. So we've gone through all the slots now, so we're going back to the top again, and this is save number 13. Luckily for us, they do give us plenty of chances to craft ink ribbons on this. So we're going to store the organs away right now. Get the lockpick out. I don't know why I did that. I didn't really need to do that because we're not going to use it yet. And none of the charms really matter. But, yeah. So what are we doing now? Oh, we're going upstairs now. Okay, so we're doing this right now. So we're going to run upstairs and, you know, make sure you kind of creep through here, because there's a zombie that's going to... We didn't take this zombie out earlier, but this is when I started realizing that going for the legs is actually very helpful. When you go for the legs and shoot them in, like, the kneecap and stuff, it is very, very helpful in that you don't have to waste as much ammo, and then you can just kick them down to the floor and then use your rip knife to basically finish them off. And I'm going to be getting a trophy here for, I believe this is for siphoning like 500, or not 500, 5,000 gallons of blood, the Bloodlust trophy. We're going to craft some Requiem ammo here, and we're going to use our lockpick to basically get into this this last drawer here, which is going to have more rare metal in it. There is another zombie in the one room where, like, I think it was the chairman's office, so don't go in there unless you feel like doing it. And we're going to also come this way, and I believe we're just going to run by these guys. See, like I said, I was able to run by that guy without him getting aggroed. We're going to craft a mixed herb there. We're going to run this way downstairs into the safe room to basically pick up, I believe, the wrench, so that we can get into the one room and grab the organ or the heart and get that out of the way. And also we're going to, I believe we're also going to get the other inventory expansion as well, since it's like right there. So grab the wrench. I would store the rare metal away if I were you, but I didn't think about doing that because, like I said, I was kind of just, a lot of this was just very, like, in the moment. I was just kind of figuring this out as I went. But there is scrap upstairs behind us that I haven't grabbed yet. I would recommend not running through here because there is a zombie in that room still, like the record room. But, if you have the balls, then just go for it. Now, finally, like I said, we're going to go downstairs and we're going to use the wrench to get in here. And just really take your time. Don't rush through these sections. Like I said, you don't want to rush into a situation where you could just be dead instantly, because you're going to be really, really mad and upset. You're going to rage a lot already, as it is, on this difficulty. And, yeah, there we go. We got the artificial heart. So there's that. Got some scrap. We can't really use it yet. But I believe I'm going to lure this one guy in here. Oh, why did I discard that? That was so dumb of me to do that. Doesn't matter. So we're going to grab this handgun ammo. We got some ink ribbon tins. We're going to lure this guy over here to basically kill him and siphon his blood to craft an ink ribbon. Now I'm starting to remember what's going to happen in the rest of this video, because once we get to the later half of this, I start to remember this more, because this was like the last stuff that I edited. But yeah, we can do the whole ring around the rosy technique with this guy, because there is a massive, it's not even a table. It's like this whole thing that you can just lure him around, basically. I think this guy is going to get his hands on me. I got a very unlucky shot there. He is going to grab me here and do damage, but whatever. There's really nothing that can be done. But I got lucky, and I got him in the kneecap there, and yeah. So use the rip knife to finish him off and siphon his blood. And yeah, now we're going to craft a ink ribbon, but we can't because we have full inventory right now. So we're going to head back. I decided to just cut the trip out there because it was very long and tedious. We're going to drop another save. Man, look at all those saves. I like how the color of the save slot changes for Insanity. I don't know why. It's just a little thing that I think is kind of cool. So now finally we're going to come in here and get this this inventory expansion. Take your time when you come in here, because this guy's going to be patrolling. But if you can get him to where he's going around the corner there, you can basically get in, get the hip pouch, and get out without having to worry about them catching you. So now we're going to lure these guys down the hallway to try and take some of them out. This took me quite a while to do, but I figured I would just leave most of this uncut because why the hell not? So you can kick this guy, but I wasn't fast enough. Do not get hit by him, because when that guy hits you and that like sword connects with you, it pretty much is like, you know, an insta kill most of the time, or pretty much all of the time. Just like when the chef hits you, or when you get grabbed by a zombie head on, you don't want that to happen. So keep shooting them in the kneecap and then throwing them down to the ground to basically, you know, use the knife to finish them off. This guy will get back up several times, so you got to be very, very careful with this guy. And there's Chunk right there. So I'm going to run back here and try to lure these guys over. And literally this doctor is going to get up again and bite me in the frickin' ankle as soon as I come back through here. But I'm doing this so that it is a lot easier for us to... so there we go, he just grabbed me. I'm doing this so it's a lot easier for me to basically come through here later and put the artificial organs in. And now both of them are up. So at this point, I would just go for headshots. Because it's very, very dangerous when more than one of them are coming at you at once, obviously. But yeah, I decided to leave most of this in because I find it very, very helpful to do it this way, to clear these guys out this way. I tried siphoning this blood, but as soon as I started to siphon it, this guy started to lunge at me, so I decided, you know what, nope, not going to do that right now. So I'm doing the whole door technique on this guy again to kind of like de-aggro him and pop shots off on him left and right. I did a little edit there so that I could basically just... you know, skip through that. So we're not going to worry about that guy right now, but we are going to siphon that blood and craft another ink ribbon. Actually, no, we're not going to do that. Finally, we're going to go upstairs now. But first things first, we got these guys at the top of the stairs, but I'm going to use a Requiem shot to basically take two of them out at once. So just kind of stand here at the bottom of the stairs until one of the guys notices you, and as soon as he like comes at you, both of them are going to come at you, and then like I said, you have to wait for the right opportunity to line a shot up there. And then once you take them out, then you can basically siphon their blood. So yeah, we're getting very, very close to making our way into the I believe the conference room. Yeah, the conference room to grab the corrosive, and that's going to get us into, you know, almost the end of this section here. So Chunk can follow you up the stairs here. I don't know if he does that I mean, he does do it on Insanity. What am I saying? I don't know if he does it on like standard difficulty, but he will do it on Insanity. He will follow you up those stairs. So I decided to basically go and drop another save here because this part is really, really annoying. There are like 3 zombies that you have to go through, like make your way by here in the conference room, including one of the shrieking zombies. So we're going to discard the used up rip knife that we have and basically we're going to grab this. We're going to grab another rip knife, the bottle. The bottle's actually going to help us, believe it or not. So, man, that door just got freaking destroyed. So thankfully for us, we don't have to worry about these guys anymore because they're both dead. Like I said, if you look at this map, it will update the map for you. And when you come in here, this is where the other safe code is going to be. This is the other document, another document that we're missing out on that you can't get until you play the game again on Insanity. Because like I said, again, I'm going to keep repeating myself. Certain things like safe codes have multiple combinations on each difficulty. So look at that note right there to get the other safe code. But again, if you guys forget about that, I'm going to go over that in my trophy video. So we got this other Shrieker here. It's best just to take your time here and use the Requiem, which is what I chose to do to take these guys out. We got another guy with a giant-ass fucking blade that's gonna, you know, jump out. He is honestly one of the, probably the most dangerous enemy here in this entire section. As well as that chick there. If that chick gets a hold of you, like, the death animation is so freaking brutal, man. She has, like, a syringe, and she literally will, like, stick the syringe in your fucking throat until you, like, die. And Grace will literally die. Like, her eyes will start to, like, change color, and her veins will start popping out and everything. It's a brutal fucking death. So here I'm going to use the empty bottle to push this lady down. And we're going to use the rip knife on her. It wasn't enough for me to fully take her out here, but she's going to grab me. As soon as I stab her in the eye with the rip knife, that's basically it. She's done now. So, yeah, I got lucky there. And now we can grab the corrosive and finally progress onto the rest of this without having to worry about going through this room ever again. So you can look at this note if you want, but it's not really that important. There's also corrosive there, and there's a tracking module there, but we're not going to do anything with that right now because that's for Leon. Again, I don't remember if I actually came in here and like grabbed that stuff as Leon. We're going to have to wait until part 3 to see if I do or not. But like I said, I'm kind of creeping here because Chunk can follow you back up here. But at this point, we're going to head back to the second puzzle box. And yeah, as soon as we get in there, there's going to be a whole other cutscene with Victor. So I will be back very shortly.
Miss Ashcroft, come in. I won't harm you. I was just looking for Dr. Richardson.
Why did you kidnap me?
Kidnap you? I liberated you.
Who are you?
Oh, forgive me. Dr. Victor Gideon. I run this center. It took forever to find you. You're not like other people, you know. You're quite unique. Through you, Elpis can finally be set free.
Why me?
Oh. Because my master made you who you are. Phase 2's about to begin. Would you like to see what's hidden under the hood?
Grace! Wait! Grace! Grace! Grace!
There's no escaping your destiny.
Okay, so now we can head into the other room and open up the puzzle box. I don't know if you guys have seen it before, but I was, again, Nathan and I are constantly sending reels to each other on Instagram, and I sent him this one reel recently, a couple days ago or like a week ago, where a modder basically was playing that cutscene, but he swapped out the character model. So instead of Grace running to hide, it was Leon running to hide. And I don't know why, I just thought that shit was like so funny for some reason. So you can basically figure out this combination by looking at these photos here. And each photo has, a half of the combination. So it's star, sun, I believe star, sun, moon, sun, if I remember. Is it star, sun, moon, sun? Star, see, even I'm uncertain here. Star, sun, moon, sun, yes. And there we go. We have the sun quartz. You could also grab this notebook here, this leather-bound notebook, which I still have not figured out what, like, the purpose of this thing is. Even though, it's crazy. Like, I have pretty much done all of the challenges in this game, and done everything, even the final puzzle, which is the whole thing that I'm going to get into in my my trophy video. But the leather box notebook is kind of a weird thing that you'd think, like, if it's a whole other item that takes up a slot in your inventory, that it would be important and it would actually mean something. But I just, at this point, still have no idea what the leather box notebook even is for. I think it's literally just there for you to grab the whole combination for the artificial, like, transport box. So at this point, we're gonna go and drop a save, I believe. I don't know if we are actually. No, we can't yet because we don't, have any ink ribbons. But we're pretty much like in the home stretch now. So I'm gonna go insert the antique coins to pick up some ammo. I'm gonna try to do that, but it's gonna be a fail because all of these zombies are gonna be here at the end of the hallway now. The ones that we let out of the pantry, which is why it's actually we are gonna get by this guy. Never mind. Did I even edit this video? I don't know. I edited it last night, so there's quite a bit of ammo here. It's really hard to get into this room because most of the time those guys are, like, actually patrolling the hallways. If you can get into the bar and lounge area and get into that safe, you should be able to have enough antique coins to grab that, like, blood collector extension, but we're not going to do that quite yet. So now we're going to come here and we're going to put the organs in and basically get the level 2 ID wristband, which is going to allow us to get into the isolation ward. You guys already know what the deal is at this point. If you've already played the game, I mean, I don't need to keep repeating it to you guys. So, yeah, this guy's going to get up, but you can't use the knife here. I tried using the knife here on him, but it didn't work. So I basically just decided to wait until he, I decided to do the whole hallway trick to lure him down the hallway. And as you can see, I have plenty of ammo, thankfully, after unlocking all of that, that ammo with the antique coins and whatnot. So this guy, I don't think he really takes as many shots to, like, put down, but just keep going for the kneecap and using the knife. That's what you have to do. And I got lucky, and that guy, went down with my last knife attack. So we got the ID wristband level 2. Now we are going to head into the isolation ward and just creep through this section here. You never know. The big guy could be waiting here for you, and if he catches you, then I think it pretty much goes without saying that it's an insta kill, and you don't want that to happen. You don't want to have to deal with that with that headache. So yeah, I was kind of creeping through this room because I didn't know if there would be zombies here or not. Like I said, I mean, have said repeatedly, on Insanity, they like to add more zombies in certain areas that weren't there initially on your regular run. But at this point, we're pretty much, we're almost done with Grace's section and almost back on to Leon again. We just have to go through the last section with the puzzle box where we have to protect Emily, which is really, really hard and really, really annoying, but we're not there yet. I'm getting ahead of myself as always. So I can grab that scrap. I was kind of uncertain as to what to craft here, so I decided just to not craft anything. But I did craft those green herbs. I mean, you don't want to waste the blood, so I wouldn't waste the blood. Grab that ink ribbon, look at this notepad to basically get this clue to this whole combination here. And once you look at the puzzle box, it's going to trigger another cutscene. And yeah, as always, I will be back very shortly.
I can't tell which button's which. Braille. These girls, they look just like... You're the one that locked her up. I'm gonna borrow this. I bet she can read that.
Okay, so as soon as we grab this, there are guys that are gonna run out here. If you make a run straight for the door here, you can get by these guys without getting grabbed, and that is honestly I think the best way to get through this part without having to fight these guys. Because if I had died at this point, I would have lost a ton of progress since I've gone this long without an ink ribbon, but we made it, so we don't really have much to worry about. And yeah, we got another cinematic coming up right now with Emily. I believe I'm gonna drop a save in a second, or we're gonna drop the save after we talk to Emily. So yeah, again, you can come into the other room, but there's really nothing for us there. So yeah, I'm gonna let this play out, and I will be back.
Hey! Why did they put you in there?
I don't know. I've always been here.
Do you mind if I come in?
I don't mind.
So, sorry. I'm with the police.
Police?
Yes. I'd like you to come with me.
Why?
I'm Grace. What's your name?
Emily?
Emily. You like reading?
Yeah.
Do you think you could read something for me? Please, I really need your help.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll take you there. There are steps. How about I carry you?
What do you want me to read?
There's some buttons with Braille on them. Can you read them and then push the buttons in this order? Star, star, moon, sun.
Sure.
Thanks. Thank you.
Okay, now like I have said repeatedly, this part right here is so freaking annoying. It was so annoying, as a matter of fact, that I literally had to put the game down for like, a day, or it wasn't a day, but like 10 to 12 hours and come back when I had kind of like cooled off a bit. It's really helpful to have at least one Requiem shot here. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to craft a hemolytic injector. And I'm going to basically try to get, or we're not going to try, we are going to get into the pantry here. We're going to take this empty bottle. We're going to run by this guy because he doesn't, if we run right by him, most of the time you can avoid getting grabbed by him. We're going to go this way to get into the pantry. There's still going to be a guy right here, but if you throw a bottle at him, you can use the hemolytic injector on him and pretty much take him out. You don't have an unlimited amount of time to search this area, so just, be as quick as possible because that guy is going to be right on our ass, as you can see. But we do have a healing item, I believe. No, actually, we're going to craft a med injector here, and we're going to use it, and we're just going to run right by this guy, and we're going to run by this guy and this guy. And if you're lucky, you can get through here at full health. That's the optimal way to get through this part with the Requiem shot. The Requiem shot is really going to help us out in this upcoming part where we have to protect Emily because our health is going to be like at caution here when we're doing this part. We're going to be in a very, very like dangerous position. But I barely survived this part, by the skin of my teeth. It was really, really rough. And just, oh my god, it was just, this part really, really sucked, man. This was like the first big part where I wanted to cheat so badly on the game. And I got like really, really like stuck here. But yeah, now we're going to grab Emily. We're going to pick her up. And we are inevitably going to run into some zombies here. But most of these guys, you can actually run by them. There was one guy that did grab me and did bite me and do damage to me, but there was really nothing I could do to get away from him, unfortunately. But as long as you just keep running through this section, you can make it by most of these guys without them grabbing you. But when you do get here into the isolation ward, there is going to be two guys here, and one of these guys is going to get you every single time. So as long as your health is fine, you don't have anything to worry about. Just take the hit and just keep running, basically. And yeah, we have another quick cinematic coming up right now.
Here it is. You think you can read it?
I can try.
It's like a giant puzzle box. Stay here, Emily. You handle this. I'll, handle that.
Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to get the Requiem out, and we're going to use it on this guy right here. As soon as he comes through this, like, those sheets, we're going to shoot him in the head, like, jump through the doorway, get the pistol out, and we're going to use this window here to basically kind of, like, bait this guy back and forth. The window, this, like, window that you jump through can really, really save you a lot of the time here during this part because, like I said, if you just keep baiting the zombie to jump through the window, it does give you time to constantly pop headshots off on him and get by him, basically. Or not get by him, but, take him out little by little. So, yeah, just keep like triggering him to go through either the doorway or through the window. And whenever you have a shot, shoot him in the head repeatedly. You want this guy right here. This is the guy that was laying on the desk, by the way, that we stole the ID wristband from. You want him to die outside of the office. We're going to run in here, stick the hemolytic injector into that guy to make this part a little bit easier. There's another guy in this room behind us right now that's going to get up in a little bit. But this guy right here, very important. You want him to be where we are at right now when you kill him. You don't want him to be inside the room when you kill him, because this is the one guy that is going to mutate into a blister head, which is just really annoying. So just keep shooting him in the head. But when he jumps through here, he got kind of a bullshit hit on me here, annoyingly. And I had to do the rest of this at like critical health, but there was nothing I could do. Make sure that he is, like I said, that he is outside in this area, because as soon as he is down, one more guy is going to get up in the other room, and we're going to have to take that guy out. And then as soon as we take that guy out, this guy is going to mutate into a blister head. But if you take this guy outside, and then take all the other enemies out and are able to last until he mutates into a blister head, you can basically just hang out right here by the door and not have to worry about him aggroing and coming after you. So we have one last guy here that is going to get up, and he's going to start inevitably making his way towards us. I did try doing this part just literally by waiting by the door until Emily was done, but that really doesn't work. You have to actually engage with the enemies here, which is a pain. But yeah, just do what you can here. Don't get too close, and whatever you do, do not get grabbed, because you're going to be in a whole world of pain here. This part is really, 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 really annoying, man. I mean it. Like, this part honestly sucks. Make sure there is distance between you and the zombies so that you don't get grabbed by them, because that's a whole headache that you don't want to deal with. But we're almost done with this. We just got to take this guy out. At this point, there's only one enemy left. I mean, this guy, and the other guy, like I said, is going to get up. But as long as we keep luring this guy through the window or through the doorway and then jumping through the window, it's super easy to get this guy. You just can't miss, and you don't want to go through your ammo or waste any of your bullets. I mean, I missed a few shots here, but we're about to take him out right now. So as soon as you take this guy out, crouch down here by the door, and when the blister head gets up, as long as you stay here, the blister head is not going to notice us or come after us. And all you have to do at this point is just wait until the whole X prompt pops up, and then you can go into the room and be done with this. So yeah, that is officially the end of Grace's section. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please comment, like, subscribe, share it with your friends. I would greatly appreciate it. And next time we will do part 3. So I will see you guys on that video next time. Peace.
I'm here. I found this.
Well done, Emily. Thank you. Was dead. This is all my fault. I can't just leave her.